Here we are for chapter 2 of Anna Hibiscus, and it's called Auntie Comfort. And there they are there, looking all comfortable. Anna Hibiscus lives in Africa, amazing Africa. She lives in a big white house with many rooms and balconies. She lives with her family, who does things the African way. Grandmother and grandfather, who are very old and wise, say it's very important to do things the proper African way. All of Anna Hibiscus's family, her mother, her father, her aunties and her uncles, her cousins and Anna herself, bend their knees to their grandmother and grandfather and other elders to show proper respect for their wisdom and their age. Anna's big cousins go to school and university, but they also work hard at home, helping to wash the clothes, cook the food and look after the little cousins. Anna's father and mother and aunties and uncles drive to work in their cars. They send text messages and emails around the world and call from the market on their mobile phones to see what shopping needs doing. But the clothes they wear are made from colourful African cloth, waxed and dyed and printed, and the languages they speak are African as well as English. Even Anna Hibiscus's mother, who's from Canada, does things the proper African way. Anna has seen her in photos when she was young wearing a bikini, and now she wears bubba and wrapper like the aunties, and she has a suitable swimming costume like they do. When Anna's mother comes home from the office, she pounds yam and cassava in the yard with the aunties. She cooks traditional food the traditional way, and she knows how to eat it properly with her fingers too. You see, the whole family does things the proper African way, both modern and traditional. That's why Anna's grandmother and grandfather, her mother and her father and her aunties and her uncles, her cousins and her baby cousins and Anna herself all live together in the big white house. All except for Auntie Comfort. Auntie Comfort is one of Anna Hibiscus's favourite questions, especially on the Saturday beach. Where is Auntie Comfort? I've told you many, many times, Anna Hibiscus, her mother says, sighing. Tell me again, Mama, please, Anna begs. Again, again, all the cousins shout, and all the aunties sigh. Your children will tire us, they say. But Uncle Tunde, who is not yet married, has no children, and is not so tired of questions. He says, Auntie Comfort is in America. Where? Where? Anna Hibiscus and all the little cousins shout. Uncle Tunde points. Over these same waves, on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, and he shades his eyes. I can almost see her from here. And they all jump up and try to see Auntie Comfort across the ocean. Once, Anna was so excited that she ran right out to the waves. Maybe one day when you're strong enough, called Auntie Grace, you'll swim right across the Atlantic Ocean to Auntie Comfort. Am I almost strong enough? Anna Hibiscus said seriously. Everybody laughed, and Anna didn't know what they were laughing at. In fact, she wanted to cry. And there she is. Come, said Anna's mother, who was in a good mood. Let us send her a text message across the ocean instead. And she showed Anna and the little cousins how to send a text message to Auntie Comfort. Anna pointed the mobile phone towards the waves and sent the message all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. The next day was Sunday, and on Sunday the whole family goes to church wearing special traditional clothes from the one same cloth to show that they are all from the same one beautiful family. Grandfather was proud of his family. He was happy that his sons were big and laughing. It pleased him that his daughters were strong and happy. He loved his grandchildren, full of life and trouble. He looked at Grandmother, whose wise eyes were full of love, and he loved her too. Only Comfort was missing, his youngest daughter, his comfort, and tears came suddenly into Grandfather's eyes. Anna Hibiscus, who was standing close to him, saw his tears. What could be troubling Grandfather? He was so old and wise. Nothing should be allowed to trouble Grandfather. Anna Hibiscus went to him and put her hand in his. The next day, a letter came, a letter from Auntie Comfort. "Praise God," said Grandfather when he had read it. "Comfort will visit us at last." Tears streamed down Grandmother and Grandfather's cheeks. Aunties and uncles and cousins jumped up and down, smiling and clapping and shouting, "Comfort is coming! Auntie Comfort is coming!" "In 3 weeks' time," Grandfather continued, "Comfort will return on holiday." And for 3 weeks, everybody, little, medium and big, were busy working in preparation for Auntie Comfort's visit. When she came, every day would be a party. Ben's, Wonderful, and all the big boy cousins led home from the market goats carefully chosen by Grandfather and the uncles. They had to keep these goats tied up and eating. Miracle, Sweetheart, and all the little girl cousins were busy every day feeding the chickens fattening in pens. The big gas stove in the kitchen was not big enough to prepare all the food. Anna, Chocolate, Angel, and all the medium-sized cousins were kept busy collecting wood to feed the fires. Pots bubbled and boiled, and Anna's mother and auntie stirred and sweated and strained. Joy, Clarity, Common Sense, and all the big girl cousins grew muscles in their arms from pounding and pounding yam and cassava and millet. Uncle Busy Sunday, who was in charge of shopping and cooking and eating, did not sleep at all. And you can see, look how busy they are, all doing their different jobs, preparing for Auntie Comfort. Oh, there it is. Soon the big fridges and freezers were stuffed full of delicious food and hot drinks, all waiting for Auntie Comfort to arrive. But every evening, when the family gathered to eat, a tear would run down Grandfather's cheek. He would look around at his wife and children and grandchildren, rolling balls of yam neatly between their fingertips and popping them in their mouths. "Will Comfort remember how to eat?" he would say. "Will she remember our way, the proper African way? Will she have forgotten her fingers and only know a knife and fork now?" The aunties and uncles would look at one another and smile and shrug their shoulders. They did not know. Only Anna Hibiscus was worried that Grandfather was sad again. One night she asked her mother, "Mama, can I send a message on your phone?" "What are you talking about, Anna Hibiscus?" her mother said, cross and tired. "To who? Mobile phones are not for children." Uncle Tunde heard. He saw Anna's tears. Uncle Tunde had not been cooking all afternoon and he was not so tired. "Don't worry, Anna Hibiscus," he said. "You can use my phone." So Anna sent a message across the Atlantic Ocean, and only Uncle Tunde knew. In those 3 weeks before Auntie Comfort came, much new cloth was bought and new clothes made for the whole family. A whole lot of text messages were sent back and forth between the cloth market and the house. Auntie Comfort emailed her measurements and the tailor came on his bicycle, his sewing machine strapped on the back to help with the making of the new clothes. Grandmother called to Grandfather, inspecting each fitting, and Grandfather sighed and shook his head when they held up Auntie Comfort's new clothes. "But will Comfort even know how to tie wrapper anymore? The proper African way? Maybe she will only wear tight jeans now." Angel and Chocolate and Anna Hibiscus looked at one another with eyes wide open. An auntie wearing tight jeans. The boy cousins giggled and the uncles laughed and Grandmother looked worried. Anna Hibiscus borrowed Uncle Tunde's phone again. The 3 weeks were almost gone. Anna was excited. Whenever she could, she ran off to play at being Auntie Comfort. Auntie Comfort in the office with many secretaries, sending important emails and faxes around the world. All the cousins loved to play this game. On the last day, they played Auntie Comfort shopping for their presents. Grandfather came out to watch and he shook his head. "It is the proper African way to bring presents for everyone," he said. "Maybe Auntie Comfort will not remember." The cousins looked at one another. Now they were all worried. Anna Hibiscus went running to Uncle Tunde, but it was too late for Auntie Comfort to go shopping. Auntie Comfort was coming tomorrow. The next day, Anna Hibiscus's father and Uncle Tunde drove to the airport to collect Auntie Comfort. The family stood on the porch in their new clothes and they watched and waited. And when Anna's father and Uncle Tunde returned, they were smiling from ear to ear. And when Auntie Comfort stepped out of the car, everybody gasped. She was wearing the biggest, longest, fullest, stiffest African dress that Anna and her cousins had ever seen. It was a miracle that her head tie had fitted inside the car. Auntie Comfort looked like a queen, the Queen of Africa. Uncle Tunde winked at Anna. There she is, look. And when Auntie Comfort knelt in front of Grandmother and Grandfather, Anna Hibiscus thought she was the finest queen that she had ever seen. Anna's father and all the aunties were crying with joy and relief. Anna's father and the uncles were laughing and smiling, and Grandfather's smile was the happiest smile of all, and Anna Hibiscus's was the widest. "Welcome, Comfort," Grandfather said. "Thank you, Father," Auntie Comfort replied. "But I am now called Yemisi." "Why?" said Grandmother. "What's wrong with Comfort?" "I wanted to have an African name, Mama," said Auntie Comfort, and the aunties started to laugh. "Comfort is an African name," said Grandmother. "But it's an English word, Mama," said Auntie Comfort. "It's an English word, but an African name," said Grandfather. "Have you ever heard of an English person being called Comfort?" Come, enough of this. Let us eat. And the table had been laid according to Grandfather's instructions. There were plates at every place and many knives and forks and spoons for the many courses. They ate pepper soup with their spoons, and then eba and okra and stew was served. Everybody looked at Auntie Comfort, and Auntie Comfort looked politely at Grandfather and Grandmother. Grandfather gestured to Auntie Comfort. "Begin, my daughter," he said. Auntie Comfort motioned for the finger-washing bowl to be passed to her, and then she began rolling the eba into neat little balls with her fingertips, dipping it into the okra and stew soup, and then popping it into her mouth. The big cousins clapped and clapped. Big, fat, happy tears ran down the cheeks of Grandmother and Grandfather. Auntie Comfort looked surprised, and then she winked at Anna Hibiscus. Anna Hibiscus smiled her biggest smile. The worry was over. Except what was inside Auntie Comfort's many big suitcases? Presents, of course! There were presents for Grandfather and Grandmother, Mother and Father, and all the uncles and aunties, and there were presents for Double, Trouble, Ben's, Wonderful, Miracle, Sweetheart, Chocolate Angel, Joy, Clarity, Common Sense, and all the cousins. Everybody cried with excitement and hugged Auntie Comfort over and over again. Nobody had been forgotten. Not the neighbours, not the distant relatives, not the girls who stood selling fruit and vegetables at the gate. Nobody. Anna was delighted. Auntie Comfort had thought of everything and everyone, and after that, everybody, including Anna Hibiscus, knew that Auntie Comfort was still a true and proper African lady, both modern and traditional. Our daughter has come, Grandmother said over and over again. Our daughter has not only come, Grandfather said, she has also remained one of us. And everyone agreed. Lucky though, thought Anna Hibiscus, when Auntie Comfort went splashing in the waves in her tiny bikini. Lucky Grandmother and Grandfather didn't come to the beach. There she is on the beach. So Auntie Comfort's got a bit of traditional and a bit of modern, all wrapped into one. Lovely.